I want to welcome you to One Place of Voice. This is where Liberians and other nationalities around the continent of Africa promote nothing but love, peace, and unity. You know, I have one of our brother here, you know, who works with the African community. I've been doing this brother for some time, Dion. I think he's a great man. And, you know, just taking such a, you know, vision to bring to his people, I think is a very important thing, you know, for the studio. So we'll reach out to him to just ask him a few questions. So before I even go ahead to ask him, Dion, how are you? How you doing?
Thank you, man, for having me on the show again.
Oh wow!
Hope we had the last time.
Oh wow! It's nice to meet you again. It's so exciting to all be coming and sit with you to talk to you. Can you just tell the public who you are?
Okay, my name is Dion Powell. I'm a lifelong Bronx resident, born and raised by Yankee Stadium. I went to public school for kindergarten, and after that I went to Catholic school for 12 years. Then I went to the poor man's Harvard, known as the City College of New York, and I got my bachelor's degree in film, actually, and I did my master's degree at Metropolitan College of New York. I'm a community leader, organizer here in the Bronx. And I used to run for the New York State. I used to work for the New York State Assembly in this area as the community liaison, and now I'm currently running for that same position in 2020.
Very good. So can you just kind of briefly explain your platform to the audience? Because you know we live in a world, a social world where everything is, you know, all over the place. So we want to make sure that the public understand and know the platform. Can you tell me your platform, please?
Yes. I briefly summed up my platform in this one phrase, which I used before, and I realized I should use it, which is the only way to fight gentrification is united votes, united money, united property, and united ownership. Okay? I have a 5-pronged approach for this. Number one, we need faith-based leaders, like the imams, the priests, the ministers, because in our community, we have a concept called moral poverty. The reason why the African community and African American community are so divided is because the African community has a concept called moral wealth. So an African mother, single, and an African American mother, single, could live next door to each other, have a baby at the same time, and at 5 years old, one baby comes out well-behaved, and the other child comes out misbehaving. That's because one has a moral wealth and another one has moral poverty. So we have to fight that with faith-based leadership, meaning the fastest way to change a mindset, and the thing our community is a mindset shift. We need to change our mindset. The fastest way to change your mindset is through a higher power, right, and effective. Number two, we have to have civic engagement and education. Not just a PowerPoint of the mayor, who's that, but actually I'm making my curriculum hands-on. You will call 311 and find out who representatives are. You will go to one community board meeting, sit there, look at the flyers. The way I'm going to teach the civic education, don't use politics because that word is demonized, is going to be learning how to read, ride a bike, and drive a car. It's going to be so hands-on, you won't be able to unlearn it. It'll become a lifestyle for you. Number three, we're going to return to community banking. Right now, I'm a consultant of the street for a black-owned federal credit union by a great Nigerian minister by the name of Archbishop Alexander. Wow. He believes that, and me and him clicked on the first day, to God be the glory. He said, Dion, you know, I'm one of the few ministers that will say this. I don't care if they take away my 501c3. I don't care if they take my tax exemption. I can say whatever I want for my clothes about LGBT or abortion or wars. And I don't fear the government from taking away these benefits. Why, Dion? Because I have my own money. Very simple. I said I agreed as well. 501c3 is a very entrapment, and it's an idol for the churches and the community. All the ministers in the world, I can't come in and talk about politics and let them know what's going on because it's always Dion. You have to be careful. I'll lose my 501c3. Why? You work for God. You should not fear nothing. You should be able to say whatever you're from the pulpit. But because the 501c3 gives the churches so many benefits and perks, and all the free toys, the free school supplies, the free food for the pantry, the churches and the faith-based community do not want to let that go. And that's one of the things I'm going to hope is to expose this 501c3 and that poverty is a big business here in the South Bronx. So that's the civic engagement education. And that's the financial community banking that we need to have our united money, our united property, and our united businesses under one fiscal hub to control our money. Once again, Archbishop Alexander and I do the same thing. Monday is the best day for banks when it comes to churches and faith-based ministry. Because Monday is when all the churches dump all the money into these banks. The banks are happy, but the churches will not return the money in this form of a loan, financing, or mortgages because it's a public relations nightmare to have to foreclose on a church. A little known secret on my platform is this. The ministers in the Bronx own over $1 billion worth of property. Did you know that? Meaning that they either got it for free in the 70s and 80s when it was a war zone, or like my minister, or his whole complex. 2 train station stops from Yankee Stadium, by the train station for $1.90. Just imagine, if we took our property with the ministers and everything else, and put our own fiscal hub, not this federal credit union, also help a black-owned bank from Washington, D.C. come up to New York City, think of our own black-owned bank, industrial bank, so we have another black-owned, African-owned fiscal hub. Imagine we have United Property, United Boats, United Money, and United Ownership. We can take back the Bronx and beyond, right? That's the economic development piece. In addition to that, we have another doctor from Mali. He had a meeting last week. I had to be in, called Hebrews Federal Credit Union, which was in the group chat as well. I met him. We clicked from day one. He said, I don't understand why people are not controlling their money first. Because a lot of people may hurt by the church. If you control your money, you control your destiny. Number 4, land. You see, the reason why we have so much control in this country is because we control land. Right? So once again, with the ministers' United Property, over $1 billion worth of property, we can control our future. For example, the real reason they did not want Airbnb in New York City is because Airbnb would give all our people here too much ownership. Because imagine, all this property we have, the development we can do with our money, we can sublet now. All these apartments and projects, imagine we sublet them through Airbnb to all these tourists. All that money comes to us through ownership. Somebody told me, Dion, if you were able to use your comprehensive economic development plan in the South Bronx, and you change the median income from $22,000 a year to at least $40,000 a year for your people, then the more money, the more property, the more ownership you give someone, then the more conservative the mindset will become. Okay? This is very explosive, dangerous information. My mentor from the NAACP, the president, said, Dion, if you expose the world to the 501c3, Airbnb, all these things that will empower your people, they're going to find you in the East River eating on the crabs. I said, that's okay. I'm running anyway, and I love to crack cakes. Okay? I'm not scared. Number 5, we need to go back to community policing, public safety. The Black Spades were an old gang in the 70s, right? But now they're a security company, legit, for the community as that. So I believe with the Black Spades, we should have a concept like back in the day called the Guardian Angels. All these youth, because they have a gang mentality, group thing, we're going to, hey, you want to join the gang? Join the Black Spades. We're a gang from the 70s. We have the same black colors, like the cars with the spades. Then they want to grow up to be security guards in Black Spades because, you know, these gang members mentor them coming to schools. But on the same token, we'll be so united, we're united money and property that then will become like the other communities. A lot of people say, why don't we have the Jews have, the Asians have, the Italians have? The thing is, we have to follow the same script. So once again, we have our money, we have our own security task force. We can police and chastise our own people. But our property, if we see somebody pissing in the stairs, or somebody's property was disgusting, then that affects all of our money. Or we have property values and that kind of stuff. So we say, excuse me, you're not supposed to be pissing in the stairs, because now that affects my money. And so now we protect and chastise the people on inside. On the same token, we can protect our people from outside threats. You know all these drugs and guns that coming from other communities coming in? No. We're going to have the technology with our money and property that we can do our own surveillance system. We can hire and train our own private investigators. Our retired law enforcement, we're going to pay them to protect our community. So anytime somebody comes into our community, you know, chasing, for example, in a Jewish city community, one Hasidic Jew can do the most outrageous crime. They can rape a little girl in our community. But if they run back into their community, we chase them, their community will unite and keep us out. And they will protect them no matter what. Same token, follow the same script, we'll do it here. Simple. Those are my 5 bullet points that I believe will change the game.
Thank you so much, Dion, for that. Just giving all the insight of your platform and what you want to do. You know, I was doing a research, you know, and I found out that you actually going for the Bronx 79 and Salmon, you know. So, to just conclude this broadcast, what are you currently working on, and what is vision for young folks? You know, who are underprivileged. What are you looking to do for them?
All right, I'm going to answer that question and link this together, okay? Currently up the street at the Black-owned Federal Credit Union, we have Naka.com. This is a very national best case This is for all the first-time home buyers. To link both of your questions together is one phrase: generational wealth.
Wow.
This right here, and also other programs that are sponsoring first-time home buyers, mentorship with the credit, and giving them first down payment and all other stuff. This can make more property of ownership in the Bronx and beyond nationally. With all the other programs the state and the federal government have, you can double, triple dip with all this money if you know how to make the numbers. If we collectively had all our accountants in our network, all CPAs and all lawyers in the network on the same page for the association, this can happen. Next thing, I'm currently working on developing a grant writers association. This thing is about a lot. This is serious, man. I'm excited. So I hope we get a grant writers association. The number one job in New York City in extreme high demand is grant writer, because poverty is a big business and everybody has a pharmacy degree. That's right. Where they get their money? Grants, correct? That's right. So imagine if all the people here, me and you, Maury, we control the grant writer association. Every grant that comes into this town from around the world. You mentioned how much power we have. And then we control it with one of our Black African-owned fiscal companies. We will control your citizens. You may control the cement. You may control the food over there, distribution system. We control the grants. Okay, nobody comes and take a grant in New York City except for us. Next thing is, I'm a consultant. I also serve the board for this Small Black Business Association Southeast Queens. I'm a member. This is a small black chamber of commerce. I'm also trying to show them up with their own federal credit to contain all the business monies. Okay, so that we have a speaker system from ourselves. In my culture, we have a concept called Black Wall Street. We're doing it now. But once again, the most hardest thing is to change the mindset. I've done presentations before your board, the community boards, a Black-owned federal credit union, right here, and everybody says it's a great idea. Simply put, any culture I go to, I say, do you know what a susu is? You have it in Africa, you have it in America. Jamaicans call it partner, Latinos call it asociona, Antiguans call it turn. The white people, like I say, are completely clueless. Why? Why? Because this is the poor man's bank. Okay? That's the thing about the government. You should not let the government regulate your community. Okay? You can't police this. Same thing back to Airbnb. You can't police who I let in my house and I sublet to as a tenant. That's right. That's right. Okay? You can't come in and tax me if it's off the books. Correct?
That's absolutely right.
Okay? That's what's dangerous about Airbnb in New York City and our community. Okay? Something else I am currently working on too. This is up the street. You have the Black Federal Credit Union. You have the Small Business Association, Southeast Queens and beyond. It's this. The last one you do. There's a bank called Industrial Bank, right? They're based out of Industrial Bank. They just moved into Harlem. They took over our City National Bank, the only black-owned bank in New York City, right? So I made it my business when I went to DC with the Byron Island versus Comcast Supreme Court case. Hopefully you can follow up with that case.
Yes.
Okay, because Byron Island owns the Weather Channel and a lot of other subsidiary networks, but Comcast is giving them a problem putting their shows. They want to cut up his money to be in the venue. So look into that later for the viewers. Back to Industrial Bank. So I went down to DC under their shirt for free. I made a list, go to the bank, introduce myself. And listen, please use me as a resource to bridge the gap between you guys from DC, Maryland, Virginia to New York City. It's okay, sir. You email correspondence, supposed to see Vice President phone. She was in New York, I was in DC. Okay, we'll talk to you. She emailed me, said, listen, Mr. Powell, we don't have time to do this now, but we'll meet for you on December 14th. Today is December 7th, not even here. But I said, you know what, let me be very proactive. I nominated them for the New York Urban League Corporate Award. And I said, listen, man, I want to move forward, but I'm nominated for award my organization. I'm going to speak to the president, make sure this gets pushed forward. Because if you get this corporate award or get nominated or come to even the event, you'll be in the know of all the black corporations and partners, blah, blah. She was so flattered. She said, Mr. Powell, I love your idea, your spirit. I'm so glad we're so humble. We want to invite you to our holiday party. Okay? And yeah, man. And so I said, okay. I made an event proud. Put it on your platform, put it on your platform. You would test that. You could testify to that. And I invited you invite your network here. Wow. I invited on my network there a whole day. People from different business owners, different community leaders. The president of Industrial Bank walked by me and said, listen here to the senior president. Listen here, you need to hire this man. Whatever it takes, hire this man. I said, okay, we'll follow up in a few weeks. You guys adjust, whatever you guys want to do. And lastly, this is very key. The future of New York City is not technology. What's up about? We have to stop letting people tell us what the thing of the future is. I'll give you a perfect example. In my day, in the 90s, we tell all the children in high school, listen, the future is computer science. Oh yes, Bill Gates and Steve Jobs, this internet's going to blow up the superhighway. When I got to college, I tried computer science. I couldn't cut it, but a lot of my friends and family did computer science. We have black Nigerian engineers, etc. But guess what? Because of capitalism, they figured out a way to pigeonhole people. So now you have your friends making a little $30,000 at the IT desk, the help desk, closing tickets for the MTA. And I was like, well, I thought we were all supposed to be rich off this computer science. The same thing now with the Silicon Valley push. I'm going to tell you the secret of the future: skilled labor.
Wow.
Because all these buildings, infrastructures are deteriorating. If you go inside this school's ballroom, it's deteriorating. The subway deteriorating. Plus, that's one. Number two, that's a multi-billion-dollar industry. Sure. Number two, all these developers throwing up buildings. They need this leverage too. My graduate school e-blast. One of the members said, listen, we're hiring a plumber. Does anybody know any plumbers? I'm like, what are you talking about? It's a graduate school e-blast professional. Asked my friend who was a plumber, this Jewish kid, he said, Dion, I need plumbers. Please, you know what, you tell them to me. We're unionizing everything. Right? The key thing, my good brother has an HVAC business. All this heating, ventilation stuff that you see here, he does it. But people don't understand how it works. So he hires and trains people. He's stuck to let laws trying to hire and train our people because they can't afford it or invest themselves in the mindset. So I'm trying to bring them to the Bronx because the secret about this is so dangerous. The thing, the similarities between politics, the similarities between grant writing, the similarities between HVAC skilled labor is this. You could have 1,000 felonies and do it. That's right. You could have 1,000 felonies and be your own business owner. Wow. I also associate with third parties. I co-started the Libertarian Party. One of the members, he's pictured. He said, I couldn't get a job for anything. I was suffering, homeless. Next to my friends in the Libertarian Party, guess what? I am now hired my own business. George Tier says, listen, you can go do it. You just have to have the mindset, not job. My platform was to destroy 3 words. I want to destroy the word credit, I want to destroy the word loan, and I want to destroy the word rent. Wow, simple. All right? So I'm trying to bring scheme labs to New York City. And next point, because I'm excited, is this. The next thing I'm working on currently, I cut a deal with this nonprofit. What they do is, they do stock investment training, but they match your funds that you invest to play around. You see what I'm saying? It was all in Brooklyn. It took me 2 years to get these people and their connection to the downtown. This lady said, these are veterans for Brooklyn K-Years veterans. So listen, I'll get you 30 veterans for your class, and I'll make sure they're there to invest in stocks, you match their funds, and that's that. But once again, to keep on at the beginning, generational wealth. Did you know children can invest in the stock market? I was in stock market training. The presenter said, my son in 3rd grade was investing in stocks. He was there. See, that's the generational wealth. Very key. Okay, once I established a relationship with them, I working out with the veterans, and she said I can bring up her numbers. So if you know any veterans, contact this gentleman, because we need to pack that room. Because once I do that, I'm going to set up shop again in South Bronx. Stock investments. Children as young as 14 years old. 14, imagine all juveniles at 14 years old. We can get them into skilled labor training. You can have 6 figures. They go to their own business at 14. We can teach them stock market and financing at 14. Open their own business. High school is optional. Now it's going to be optional because all these other kids in those other countries, they're not really press college. The same in business. College dropouts, people that actually went to college and college dropouts, people that actually have degrees work for them. Does that make sense? Their role is different. That makes sense?
Well, Dion, we gotta have a phase 2 of this. It's like your platform is so rich, and I can engage you again.
Yes.
So, audience, this Dion, how I'm telling you, a man that have a great platform and a man that want a vision, things being changed, loan branding, it's like he want to bring so much to the table. But guess what? Don't go anywhere because I'll be engaging for the second phase of this interview very soon. I will let you know, we're going to have it because at One Place on Voice, we are basically trying to empower our community. And I've been knowing Mr. Powell for a very long time, and I have so much energy, that you want to put us right in the community. So again, thank you so much for listening. Again, with this One Place on Voice, it's where
That's right. Facebook.com. Google it. One Face.
So again, Dion, thank you so much.
Yes, we're going to do it again. Together we can.